It was a normal day like any other day. Woke up, got ready, had breakfast, and off I went to work at the Salt Lake City International Airport as a rental car agent. The airport had recently opened a rental car facility that made it easier for travelers to go from the terminal to the facility itself by using a sky bridge. It felt like you never left the airport. Strangely, on my way to work, I used to turn on the radio, but that day I did not. I got there about 10 minutes before my shift started, at 6:50 a.m. to be exact, Salt Lake City time, 2 hours behind New York time. Only a few minutes past 7 a.m., a co-worker had just arrived. He mentioned to me that a plane had just hit the World Trade Center in New York City. A what? Were my initial words on this unprecedented day. Remembering reading about a very small plane hitting the Empire State Building back in the 50s, if I recall correctly. A passenger plane, he said. Oh, that was my reaction. We worked at an airport, and flights from the East Coast were already in the air with a destination, Salt Lake City. People on those planes had no idea about what had just happened in New York. I could only imagine their disbelief once they had wind of the news and we were right there to greet them. A worker from a rental car competitor was informing us the latest since they had a black and white TV set in their lounge area. We had a very small peek at the set, and that is when I saw one of the towers with that thick black smoke and of course a big hole. The day had just started. The second plane was just a confirmation of the terrible news or events of the day. By this time, more co-workers had arrived and they all had the same conversation. Supervisors and managers were openly discussing sending people to their homes, which they did by sending the more senior workers. I, of course, had to stay to face the travelers. I took a small break and went to the airport terminal to get me a white chocolate mocha from Starbucks. When I saw the airport monitors, they all were on CNN airport channel displaying the full horror. To be fair, the monitors were switched off as I was returning from my coffee break. I told my co-workers what I have just seen on TV, and they were all in shock. By 10:15 a.m. Salt Lake City time, planes from the East Coast were landing, and we were there to face them. At the beginning, everything seems cool until travelers from New York and DC arrived. One guy was just hysterical, saying that his cousin worked at the World Trade Center and that he couldn't reach him. Another sobbing woman begged me to call a family member in Boston to find out about a loved one. And that just happens to me. My fellow co-workers had their own issues to handle. We were all united with a purpose to help all these people, and we did. It felt good. By lunchtime, my boss asked me if I wanted to be home, and I accepted. I hugged my co-workers, said my goodbyes, and left. On my way back home, as I was driving, I saw many people with the American flag in their hands, waving it with pride. I, for once, could not resist, and I wept. The events of this day affected me negatively in many areas, but that's a different story. Still, it made me feel the love for country like I'd never seen before or after. God bless the American flag, and God bless the United States of America.